The U.S. military will boost its efforts to help Iraqi forces confront Islamic State militants in the coming weeks. The Pentagon said it would deploy 1,500 more troops to the country and will establish sites to train a dozen Iraqi military brigades. In a statement, the Pentagon said all U.S. forces will be in non-combat roles.
50,000 soldiers make for a potent fighting force by anyone's estimation. Used correctly, they may be able to turn the tide of battle. However, when there are 50,000 soldiers on the payroll, some of that being paid by American tax dollars, and they are more closely related to Casper than Rambo, that's where the outrage begins. Let's welcome to MidPoint, retired from the United States Army at the rank of Major General, currently Military Committee Chairman for the Center for Security Policy, and also co-author of the book Endgame, The Blueprint for Victory in the War on Terror. Paul Vallely joins us. General, thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, Ed.
Here we have this report that comes out, the Prime Minister saying the Iraqi army has 50,000 ghost soldiers being paid. It is costing millions and perhaps even billions of dollars. What are we supposed to take then from an Iraqi military that we and the American public were under the impression was at least getting close to being able to take care of itself militarily?
Well, for the most part, Ed, it's an inept force. It's fallen apart, doesn't have good leadership at the top or at the NCO ranks where they need the fighting forces to be most effective. We should be supporting the Peshmerga up in Kurdistan where they really know how to fight. But this hollowed out Iraqi force, except for some of the special operating forces that we've trained there, are very ineffective. And they just don't have that strong leadership it takes to be in combat.
You use the word inept. Is it fair to say that that ineptness began when the country fell, when America moved in and took Saddam Hussein out, or has it always been inept?
Well, actually, it wasn't too bad a force under Saddam. When they invaded Kuwait, they're pretty effective, of course. They still have the weaknesses that are repeated here today, and that's the ineffectiveness of their what we call mid-level leadership, and a lot of generals and senior colonels that really don't know how to take the battle to the enemy. And so with that, you've had a purge of a lot of the Sunnis leadership that was better than the Shias, and of course you have the Shia-driven government. So what you have in the end is a very weak, corrupt, and inept force that can't take the battle to the enemy.
Is it worth it then to say that with this inept force, that simply put, they can't take care of themselves militarily? No matter how much money we throw at them, no matter how much training we throw at them, it won't make one bit of difference. If we go 1 year from today, at the rate we're going right now, this will still be a completely useless military.
Well, I think for the most part it will be, and they will take their best forces, Ed, to protect Baghdad area, which is the center of activity for Iraq. But like I said before, we need to have special operating forces, air power supporting the Peshmerga in the north, who can really do an effective job in fighting. And so until we can do that, I don't see any improvement over there at all. And ISIS, as you can see, continues to be strong. They continue to attack. They just killed a number of Iraqis on the border. And so they're continuing the expansion of the caliphate. And that area, they are going to continue to purge. Look in the future at the Jordanian border, which is going to be a very big target for them. So it's important that we have a better strategy and better leadership than we do right now to guide us in the future over there.
What you mentioned was Islamic State fighters killing 16 Iraqi soldiers in an attack on a western border crossing with Syria. That happened today. About 30 seconds I have before we break. Are you buoyed at all by the fact that U.S. and Turkey are reportedly close to a joint agreement on a joint mission against ISIS?
Well, I think Turkey's being pressured into it. Of course, we have the air bases there in Adana, Incirlik, where I've been into and have visited and actually have flown out of there several different times. But I think the pressure's on Turkey to get in there and support the forces to eliminate and terminate the effectiveness of the ISIS forces, particularly in Syria, northern Syria, and northern Iraq. And it's Turkey's best interest to do this because they're going to continue to romp all over that area until they expand that caliphate and control more area.
All right, Major General, please stand by. Major General Paul Vallely is with us again on the other side of the break. We dig deeper into the latest Benghazi findings. And at 51 minutes after the hour, the greatest lie being kept alive by the press in the Ferguson case. It's on MidPoint.